What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today is Friday the 20th of December, and on the Monday just past there, which was the 16th, I finished my last ever uni exam. Yes, I know, applause, cheers, thank you, so happy to get that done. It's amazing to be able to say that. You know, we're now, after Christmas, going into my final 4 months of uni, which is crazy. I don't have any exams next semester. I do have an in-class test, but you know, it's not a full-on exam, so it's crazy. Now I have a lot to catch you guys up on, because with it being exams, I haven't recorded a video for you guys. And this, you know, the comp's actually not even far away. You know, literally once we get to January, it's like 2 weeks and we're there. So this is probably going to be the shortest road to platform series ever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch you up, because as of today, I'm going to be going into my last session of week 3 of this prep. So I've basically missed all of week 2. I haven't given you guys week 2. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my training log up here, and I'm going to put videos on screen and show you guys what I've been doing, and I'll run through the week 3 sessions as well. So from what you guys saw in the last episode, I was doing, the first week entailed of sets of 10, 3 sets of 10 on the main lifts, whereas this week, week 2 was more focused on, it was actually more volume, but it was spread out over more sets. So the first first session was 170 for 6 sets of 6. So I'm going to pop that on screen now. And to be honest, this felt pretty good. The only thing I'd say is that my depth is slightly questionable. I wasn't wearing my squat shoes because I had too much stuff in my bag that day to like fit everything in. I was struggling to fit even my belt and everything in, but managed to do it. Managed to get the 6 sets of 6 done, which felt good. But as I said, more depth needed, which I focused on after going into the rest of the sessions. Following on from that, I had 160 for pause deadlifts, and I'll bring the final set on screen now. After I did pause deadlifts in the first week, the main thing Mark told me is I need to do more of a pause and, you know, take my time and really focus on driving my hips forward. Now on this final set here, I probably could have took more of a pause on a couple of reps, but there was more of a pause there than there was before, and these felt really good. I really feel like I was getting the slack out of the bar a bit more. You can see it's bending before I was pulling, which was one of the main points I needed to focus on. I took my time and managed to get it done, so yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Moving on to 97.5 kilo bench in session 2 for 6 sets of 6. Bench is something, like I say, I told you in the first episode, that I really need to focus on. I'm so surprised, well, I'm not actually surprised, it's just powerlifting technique for bench, getting it right is pretty difficult, and I was concerned after how hard the first week was just with 90 for 3 sets of 10 this was going to be, but I managed it pretty well. Finished up on the last set with an RPE 9. Now that's something else I haven't told you guys about, is that I'm using RPE, the RPE scale, which I don't normally talk about, but rate of perceived exertion is just a way of rating your sets. So when you come out of it, the RPE scale goes from like 1 to 10, and you know, Mark normally targets me with RPEs for certain lifts and everything like that, but basically you rate the set. So if you rate the set 5 out of 10, you have like 5 more reps left. You feel like you can do 5 more reps. It's a relatively easy set. 6, you've got 4 left in the tank. 7, you've got 3. 8, you've got 2. 9, 1, 10, your head's gonna explode. You know, so 10, you're maxing out. But you know, finished up with an RPE 9 there, but by the 6th one, that's, you know, pretty difficult. And then session 3, I had deadlift 185 for 6 sets of 6. These felt great. I was really happy with them, and all that final set I actually finished up on RPE 7. I felt like my form was a lot better, pulling the slack out of the bar, you know, driving hips. Whereas the only thing Mark said is it does look better, I just needed to hold the lockout a little bit longer, which I you know, did need to do. So I focused on that session after. Mark's been great with getting me feedback. I do feel like I'm improving on my lifts. And then we had pause squat with 147.5, I believe. Just get that right. Yep, for 4 sets of 4. Again, I'm not wearing my squat shoes. Same thing. I didn't have them with me because I had so much stuff in my bag. But I did focus on depth, trying to get as deep as I can. but again with squat shoes they give you that a little bit more, but I also tried to give more of a pause. But they felt really good and I was really happy with them, especially after the deadlifts. And then the final session I had another 97.5 with bench for 6 sets 6. So that takes us on now to week 3. So first session of this week was actually before my exam, and I really wanted to make sure I had a good session. So we moved from 6x6 in week 6x6s in week 2 to now 5x5. So as we're peaking for the comp, you know, volume slightly reducing, weights going up a bit more, getting more used to lower reps, higher weight. So I had 180 for a 5x5, but on the 5th set, if I could, I had to take out if 4 sets of 5 with 180 on the 4th set. I felt like it was like an RPE, even an RPE 8. I had to put the weight up to an RPE 9. So what I ended up doing, I did 4 sets of 5 with 180, which felt good, and then I had a set with 190 as the final set, which I'll just get up here. Again, depth seemed a lot better. Mark didn't make any comments about my depth being a problem. I'm wearing my squat shoes here, so that probably is the reason why. The only thing with this set was, after 4 sets of 5 180, I don't know if that was causing it, but the bar path, you can see it's not going like straight up. I just needed to stay tighter, but I was just happy to get that done and it felt really good. Then we moved on to pause bench. Now, so that first session of week 3 was before my exam. I went and done the exam, then me and Sophie went and saw Dermot Kennedy, had a few drinks with friends. Not too much though. And I went into the session the next day and I just felt like lethargic. I didn't feel focused and it just didn't feel good. So I had a 5x5 with 102.5 on pause bench. But again, on the 5th set, if it wasn't, you know, if I was at like an RP 7 or 8, I had to take it up to an RP 9. I put up to 107.5. So Mark actually said my technique wasn't bad. I didn't feel like it was too great, but you know, he said it was pretty much fine. The main thing I had to work on for this session from previously was actually making sure I locked out over my shoulder rather than over my neck, because it made my lockout a lot stronger. And I managed the 5 reps 107.5, which was good because when I did 107.5 pause bench before I started with Mark, which was literally the last session I did before I went into the prep, I managed it for 5 when I was completely fresh. Like I hadn't done any working sets before that, so to get 4 sets 102.5 then get that shows I'm getting stronger. Then we had deadlift, which was yesterday, 197.5 for 5 sets of 5, not taking the last one up to an RP 9, just 5 sets of 5. And popping the last set on screen, I wasn't happy with this final set. The sets before were a lot better. I need to stop doing deadlifts at the gym group at Camera Toe because the bars, the knurlings aren't sharp enough, they don't give you a strong enough grip, they're so stiff as well. They're just not great for deadlifts, I just don't think they're great in general. But I did manage to get it done. I'll need to get the feedback from Mark on these and see what he thinks, but I'm just glad I got them done. Which takes us on to today's session. So today's session I'm doing 97.5 for 5 sets of 5. But again, if the last set, which it shouldn't be, I need to put the weight up to an RP 9. So we'll see what I can manage with that. Anyway, now that you guys are all caught up, I am going to do a new client setup. I'm going to get started on that, a new client for the new year, and then we will get stuck in the session. So I'll catch you at the session. Alright folks, welcome to the workout commentary. So I'm just about to jump into the first working set of the workout. 97.5 kg bench for 4 sets of 5, and then the last set I take out up to an RP 9. Earlier that week, in week 3 of the meet prep, I had 102.5 as I mentioned for a 4x5, and then 107.5 on the final set for 5. So we dropped the weight down a little bit. Mark sent me this, and this felt good. First set moved absolutely fine, gave me real confidence, and the only real thing I was considering in this workout was what I was going to be going for the final set, and also obviously making sure my technique was on point. But what I always do is I record set 1, so that's set 1 you just saw. This is set 3, and I always record those ones and then set on the mark because they're the best indicators, like right throughout all the sets, for how it's going. But set 3 again moves smooth, and set 4 I put it like an RP 7. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna jump up quite a bit to 110. But considering how much better I felt in this session than compared to how sluggish I felt in the first bench session of week 3, I could really feel the difference. But I was also so much more confident because of, despite being so sluggish, I still managed to move the weight well in the first bench session. So I went for 110 even after all that volume. Never hit 110 with pause bench before, so this was pretty big. Really making sure on the first rep I'm getting that line, controlling it, and getting a good pause, using my leg drive and powering it back up. Does look like my butt is coming off the bench a tad, but not. I don't think it is actually coming off. I think it's just a leg drive, and I'll get feedback on Mark to confirm that. But it's not like my arse is flying off the bench to get the weight off, and I don't think that would get called in comp, but we will see. But it's something that can be tidied up. I was very happy to hit that 5 after the previous volume with the 97.5. Following on to that was incline barbell bench supersetted with front raises with a plate. Did 92.5 for 3 sets of 6. Supersetted, as you'll see, with a 15 kilo plate for 8. Really building up those front delts, as they'll be so important with the bench press. One thing you also have saw there when I was doing bench press was, before I actually locked it out on that 110 set, I held it before I racked it after the last rep, because in a comp you have to, you'll press it up, lock it out, and then you don't just rack it straight away. You'll get command saying rack. So I'm actually practicing different things for the commands now to get used to them, especially with bench, because you start, then you go down, touch chest, they'll say, you have to pause, press, up, rack. So it's things I'm going to get used to. After that superset, it was another superset with easy curls, superset with French press. Good to get a bit of arm work in there, good to enjoy. Except for to be honest, I'm not really a fan of French press. I'm not really a fan of like seated overhead tricep movements. I just find them quite uncomfortable. But like I say, good to get a little bit of an arm pump, good bit of fun. Considering, but feeling really good in the meet prep. Bench especially, I set myself quite a modest target of like 120 paused, but that's just because I wasn't feeling so confident in getting the technique right. But since I'm getting more confident with it now, I definitely think I can hit more than that. Maybe like a 125, and that would be a good number to hit. Because what I'm trying to look at is trying to hit a 600 total, so I'd need like my idea in my head was like a 120 bench, a 130 a 230 squat, and a 250 deadlift. But looking at, if with a 125 bench, I could get like a 225 squat, but it'll be tight, but that's the goal. To round off, pull-ups. Just you can just laugh at how bad I am at these. I'm shocking at them. I just don't like them at all. I think these were meant to be an RP 8, and they were just like an RP 9 or 10 both times. I think I managed 5 that first one barely, and like 4 here. They're just not even good. You're just not good at everything. And again, I always say they are great exercise. I just hate them. What I decided to round off the session was just a little bit of a physique update. Sitting at 193 pounds, 87 kilos in this video anyway. I'm actually heavier than that as I'm doing this commentary. But I'm honestly so happy with how I'm looking at this weight. When I consider like literally last year in December, at this weight I was like so heavy, and like my stomach protruded out, and I was nowhere near as lean. I just look really full and strong. And I'm really happy with how I'm looking. And like I say, I want to keep gaining, but I don't want to just gain extra body fat for the sake of it. I want to keep my body coming in a good position, because after I'm done with this comp prep, I want to keep gaining up until a good point to diet down the summer. So that's the game plan. I hope you guys enjoyed that little workout commentary. Really pleased to hit that 110 bench. Especially good pauses. Felt like my form was decent. Bum was coming up a little bit, but not like too bad. I'm still waiting on feedback from Mark to see if that, because I was like, I don't know if that would get called in comp, because I don't know, because I don't think my butt was coming off the bench. It was just, it looks like it is because it's using the leg drive. Anyway, all dressed up. It's the next day. I had a wedding yesterday, and now I'm going up. Me and Harry are going for a drink at McSorley's. We're going to go watch the football and have a good day, because we've not like living together anymore. We don't see each other as much, so we decided to get together, go for a couple of drinks and enjoy it. So I'll take a couple of videos. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's like a couple of pints, then I'm going to head back and be civilised, or with me and Harry it could end up like we just end up getting absolutely blittered. Even though I'm on comp prep, like the good thing with powerlifting is you don't have to cut out being social, as long as you make sure you recover and you're good for the sessions, and you're you know, not ripping the absolute arse out of it all the time. It's fine. And it's Christmas, you gotta enjoy a drink, enjoy good food. Anyway, better get going because I'm gonna be late for the bus. Now that was a fun weekend. So I ended up staying with Harry for like, God, I look a lot worse than I thought. Jesus. Stayed in McSorley's from like, actually I'm gonna lie down. From like 12:30 till 9:30. We must have had like, I think it was 8 pints and 2 gins or something. And then went from there to the Royal, which was class. It was good seeing so many people that I hadn't seen in ages. It was good to have a drink with them and that. But over the past 2 days, I've drank a fair bit, a fair whack, and somehow now I may not look it. I'm actually all right. Like I normally touch a bit of alcohol and suddenly I'm hungover, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. But I know this vlog's been a bit weird. To be honest, I just wanted to get a YouTube video out because I hadn't done one so long, and I wanted to document obviously my powerlifting prep and just a lot going on. I feel a little bit disorganized, but it'll all be fine. I'll always sort out somehow. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Fucking meet's not even far away. I fly to Belfast in like 2 days. I'm like, oh my god, no. Right, I'm not going to stress. I'll see you guys in the next one.